So spiky balls and feet, this is a beauty, love doing this. Sometimes it might be a bit sensitive, so you might have to start with a tennis ball or golf ball. But this is a nice way of getting the fascia in those feet moving and just getting the joints of our feet going as well. You know, there's definitely more companies talking about, or more theories coming out about how important our feet really are and how we're really just not using them. And I totally agree with that philosophy really. So I'm all about getting your feet out of those shoes and starting to spread and exercise them so they can actually support your weight. So if we take one of our spiky balls, so a good thing to start with is just literally to just desensitize the sole of the foot. I mean, if you were super sensitive to this but you really wanted to persevere, you could start off by wearing socks so that it's not quite so spiky on you. But try to make sure they're not really tight fitting and pulling your foot narrow. So we just roll it, and I'll usually describe this as, imagine this is a ball that's covered in paint, and what you're trying to do is cover the sole of your foot in paint. So you just make sure you're getting all of it covered in your favourite colour all the way around. And then when you've covered the whole foot, then you're going to start to get a little bit more specific. So maybe you can start to just roll with a little bit more firmness to it. Now, again, if you're really sensitive to this or you've got issues with balance, you could always sit in a chair to do this to start with. So once I've got myself a little bit more used to the sensation, we'll start to take it, so we're adding stretch to it. So if I step back and I get my heel down and my toes up onto the ball, so I'm looking for this sort of wedge shape. What you don't want to have is you've got a flat foot and your toes coming up onto the ball. We're not looking for that, we're looking for the ankle to be pulling on the tissue. So if I start there and you just sort of see how you feel, just bringing the body weight slightly forward and backwards. And then what you might find is that doesn't feel too bad, you're not feeling too stretched, and you can keep a good body alignment. So then you might be able to bring the other leg level. So essentially we've got one foot on the ball, one foot not. Now if that's starting to feel okay, and you think actually I've got a bit more range here, I can bend the knee freely, there's nothing restricting here, then you could take yourself into a forward step where we get to have this sort of mild lunge position going on. Just going to stretch the tissues on the back of that leg even more. But that can take a bit of warming up. So you might play around with stepping back and stepping through and just trying to loosen that off. Now once we've done a little bit of calf release, what we can then do is start to roll and really push this ball in, get it to open up the midfoot, get the heel onto the spiky ball bit. And you could stop here if you want to, the toes just resting down on the floor, or you could transfer that weight forwards and even have a go at challenging your balance by seeing if you can take the other foot off. So it's all pressing up into the heel here. Stepping back again, just roll and open the arch of the foot, come back into that stretch position behind. So we can play around with getting this rolling through the sole of the foot and just getting a nice bit of blood flow down there. So I like to describe this as just your home reflexology workout. Just getting some nice pressure all the way through, just trying to open out those joints. So obviously you do that on both feet, but don't do both feet at the same time because you might fall over. So that's a really nice thing to do with your spiky balls. As I say, the ones I've got some that are rock hard and they won't give at all, and then others that once you start going, they start to soften a bit. So you just play around and find ones that you like to use and go for it. As I say, you could do exactly the same thing with a tennis ball or a golf ball. So obviously tennis ball's softer than a golf ball, but it will give you some pressure back, but a lot more tolerable. But you could certainly start off with this and start to get your confidence in moving and putting pressure through different parts of the foot with that. So you could certainly have a go at with a tennis ball, a golf ball, a cross ball, anything like that. But as I say, I'm biased towards these. I like the spread of contact that it gives us with each point. So there's your foot release. So we've got one more video that we're going to go through, which is going to be a little bit of shoulder and arm release with these spiky balls. And then I think we've sort of covered our myofascial release. So you could put all of the videos together and give yourself a really good peppering. And if you have got pain, that's just nagging at you, that should make you feel a lot better.